What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel, Serve to Build. And today I'm going to just give you a quick update on the past 2 days. It's been pretty solid learnings. We are in this phase of experimentation, seeing how we can build a differentiated product within a market that might be overlooked. I'm not going to go too much into detail about that, but I'm actually going to talk about something that I've been doing a little bit new. And more at scale, which is cold calling. So, as a founder, you have to do a bunch of different things. And one of my responsibilities is cold calling. And I've cold called, in the past from, maybe a few contacts a day. However, now like the push is much bigger to get feedback quickly so that we can really be confident about, the future of Dotflow. And so yesterday I made 30 cold calls. Today I made 20, and I'm gonna get back up to 30 tomorrow, 20 the next day. And so 30 it was a little bit draining the first time. I hadn't done 30. I think the most I'd ever done in a day was probably like 12 or 15. So 30 was definitely a jump for me. However, what I saw was that it got easier, especially today when I did those 20. However, there was still a reluctancy of me wanting to pick up the phone and do these cold calls and go through that entire process again. But once I started getting going, I was able to, put on a smile and, do the cold calls. So I think like when you're building a company, you got to do a bunch of different things. I'm an economics major. I was not trained to do sales, cold calls, anything like that. But it's part of what I need to be doing to help Dotflow be successful. So the second thing I'll talk about, which might be a little bit more unconventional. So I'm a non-technical co-founder, meaning, I did not study computer science or engineering while I was in college. I did study economics, and there was a decent amount of math and calculus in that. However, and I have dabbled in data analysis, but mostly no code tools that really have kept coding to the minimum for me. What I've been doing recently is actually I've been teaching myself how to code, not because I need to be, the lead engineer on the team. Nemeth, he's one of the best engineers I know, is much more, um, uh, much more prepared to do that than I am, and it wouldn't make sense for me to do that. But what I've been doing the past week is actually dedicating about an hour a day to learning how to code in Python. And I'll share my screen really quick. Show you what I'm working on. It's pretty simple stuff. It's nothing crazy by any means. But I'm learning how to define a function. I'm learning how to use for loops, if else statements, um, how to define stuff within like a local variable versus global variables. And I'm going to my team and I'm asking them questions. And you know, I think it's really important, especially if you want to be a leader within any organization, is to be able to understand what everyone on the team is doing and be there, especially if you are trying to grow a team and it's an engineer focused company, which Dotflow really is. There's definitely, a lot of engineering that goes on behind the scenes. And I think it's only right for me to take time when the day's completely over at 10:30, 11:30 at night for me to dive into stuff like this. So if you are a non-technical founder, I think there is no excuse for you to not be learning how to code and not, taking that additional time to learn the nitty gritties of what's going on behind the scene. Does this mean that you have to like now be on the engineering team and be pushing code every day? No, it doesn't, because most likely your time will be better spent doing other things. In my case, doing outbound, doing more marketing, and that takes up a good amount of the chunk of the day. Um, but yeah, I thought I would just share that those insights and a little bit of a kind of a daily update. I think things are starting to feel like we're moving in the right direction. And with entrepreneurship, I was feeling honestly a few days ago a little bit like not necessarily I couldn't make decisions, but there were a lot of different there's a lot of information, there was a lot of different decisions that are going through our heads right now. And sometimes it there's a little bit of a paralysis feeling to that. However, that's entrepreneurship, and you just have to, from what I've seen, and at least what I'm starting to see work for us, is really trying to capture a sample of data that can then be evaluated to then help you make a somewhat educated decision when you only have around like 60 to 70% of the information. And if you can do that quickly, then I think things will start working better and better. And that's kind of what we're doing right now. But yeah, this is a little recap about, I think, I'm about 2.5 months graduated from school, pushing this full time, moving to San Francisco here soon. But I hope you enjoyed the recap. And if you're a non-technical co-founder, you better start learning how to code right now if you're going to get engineers on your team, in my opinion. But yeah, hope you guys have a good rest of your day, and peace.